The Struggling Artist Record Club is a vinyl record subscription service where I hunt and curate the best punk and punk-adjacent music out there and mail their record to your door each and every month. Imagine finding your new favorite band from across the country without ever having to leave the house. It doesn't get much better than that. The excitement of discovering new music just got that much easier. As a member of the Struggling Artist Record Club, you are going to receive some of the best music you've ever heard from bands you may never even heard of. Whether you've been collecting records for years or just starting out, the Struggling Artist Record Club is designed specifically for you. And right now, all new members get a Struggling Artist Record Club exclusive along with the monthly selection. So head to StrugglingArtistRecordClub.com, pick a membership, and start building that collection today. Welcome to the Struggling Artist Record Club recap for April of 2025. I am your host, Trev Allen. With me, as always, Chris Chavez, who is not echoing.
Not echoing now. All good to go. Everything is great. This is our 5th time trying it, and we're off to a great start.
We're off to a great start.
Except you called it the record.
I know. No, I called it the turntable. Yeah.
Even I messed up.
I know. Whatever.
All right, we're good. We're here. We're here to talk music.
We're not here to be professionals. We're here to talk about music. So
this is punk is DIY, man. We don't come on. We're not professionals.
Yeah, whatever. So anyway, so the record club selection for April of 2025 was Scotty Saints and the True Believers, Zeros and Ones.
No.
I got this one out. This one showed up, and I was like, I gotta get it right out the door. So like nobody got the readout. But if you're a member and you're listening to this, the readout is now available on the members only website that you can go to. So I got the readout here. I'm gonna start with that.
We're gonna get members only jackets?
No.
Okay. Just checking.
Right. Friends, break out your skateboards and Ben Gay. And enjoy some good old-fashioned skate punk. But as Scotty Saints from Scotty Saints and the True Believers call it, New England dad punk. Zeros and Ones is the latest from Scotty and Company, and I have to tell you, it's some of the most aggressive stuff from that band, and I love it. I've been tracking Scotty. I've been tracking Scotty Saints and the True Believers for years now, and I am so happy to finally have them on vinyl.
Sounds like they're the elusive Bigfoot. I've been tracking Scotty Saints and the True Believers for years.
Right. Turn this one up to 11 and enjoy. Yeah. So
that fits. That sentiment right there definitely fits this album.
Yeah. Yeah. This was some of we'll get into it after Dave's email, but. Yeah, this was quite the. I liked this one a lot. So
before we get into it, dude, Scotty Saints of the True Believers, I came across them because of you. Like you turned me on to them
early on when I found them, right?
Yeah, even before I heard Scotty on your show, because I think you had him on the show before you turned him on to me. But you did turn me on to their music, and then I think it was through that benefit. Oh, I forget how to say it now, but it was the thing with
for cholangiocarcinoma. Yeah,
there you go. Yeah, that. Yeah. That's how I came across Scotty Saints, and then, I've been a fan ever since you turned me on to him. I've been a fan.
Didn't you have him on one of your shows once?
I did. I feel like I had him on the show. Did I talk to him that one time? Something like that? Yeah. I don't know. I believe I did. The cool thing about Scotty, dude, and their music is from the first time I heard them to now, there's definitely an evolution.
Yeah, I think so.
Definitely an evolution in sound, for sure.
I think they've always sounded pretty tight though.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not saying like they're getting like it's they were sloppy and then got better. I'm talking about like the sound is evolving and it's got a different of feel on this album than you did in the first one.
We're in a pretty shitty state of the world right now, and Scotty's always been someone who wore his heart on his sleeve. So I could see why there's a more aggressive, I wanted to talk about this after the fact.
Yeah. I'm just talking about having been a fan of him for a while now and how we came across him.
Yeah. No, you're right. And I can't say enough good things about this record too. Like he released all these songs were singles and and he put them together for the, I think he had a really good year with like single releases because he followed, like he knows how to work those algorithms right. So I think he went to school for music business, I believe. So being able to get it out there to more people was definitely a positive. I know, like last year or the year before, they went on a short run out in California, and I know just recently he just went back and played his hometown in Pennsylvania for the first. It was like the first show he's played there in decades, I think. So,
really?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it looked like it was a lot of fun. I was up in Montreal at the time, so I didn't have. I would have been able to. I would have liked to have gone to that one, So, like clockwork, we have a 4-page email from Dave, and we're gonna start this. I want to say real quick that Dave. Why did I? Okay, I want to say real quick that Dave writes these, I guess, like essays, kind of
short stories.
He writes like short stories along
fictional accounts.
Yeah. So just know his story is fiction. I never really thought about the afterlife. Why waste your time thinking about something that may or may not exist? I figure when you die, that's it. And if God exists, he really dropped the ball on things like alarm clocks and hangovers. So when I died at the young age of 36, trying to impress Tony Hawk with a kickflip off of a 2-story building, I discovered there was an afterlife, and it was a wee bit different than I imagined. The first thing I heard after I died was someone shouting, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I looked around and saw an endless orgy. Oh, Jesus. Why does he... All right, he does this shit to make me uncomfortable. At first, I assumed it was a dream, so I went over and...
He knows you're reading this live, that's why.
I know.
You don't ever pre-read it.
God. So I went over and I touched a breast. Dave went over and touched a breast and realized this was definitely not a dream. A guy approached me and said, "Hey, dude, sorry about your death, but welcome to the best party in heaven. There's a drug table over there. Feel free to smoke, drop, inject, whatever you want, and go find someone to hook up with. I'm Van Vanilla, the owner of this place." Okay, this is... I started... Oh, man. I started to undress, but then the worst music in the world began to play. It was the Foo Fighters, and everyone was singing along while participating in the orgy. So I guess Dave didn't make it to heaven. Is that what I'm getting from this?
That's amazing.
These people might not have standards, but I certainly do. Plus, I was a one-gal kind of guy. Joining an orgy with millions of people felt a little gross. I put my jeans... Wait, why did it have to take the Foo Fighters for you to realize this wasn't your fucking jam then? You were just like, the guy was like, "Hey, get undressed," and you were just listening to him? All right, anyway. I put my jeans and shoes back on and resolved to explore the place further. The orgy stretched on endlessly. Stop saying orgy. Taking almost a day to walk past. The entire time I had to endure that terrible music. I craved my iPhone where I could listen to my favorite genre, skate punk. A few times I yelled at the people around me, "What's your problem? This music sucks." They just smiled and said generic lame things like, "Once coffee, always coffee," or "There's a little bit of yoga in all of us." The more zen, the better. Finally, I made it past the scene and encountered an ocean of cell phones. People were swimming in it like it was a real ocean. With the waves and the jellyfish, I overheard a guy telling a buddy, "Surf that iPhone wave really well, bro. Thanks, dude." I thought I saw a shark. Dude? I thought I saw a shark among the blackberries. So I made sure to have an anti-shark app installed, and everything was good. All right. I don't know what happened there. It was a lot. I didn't stick around the ocean of cell phones for long. It felt ridiculous, but it made sense in my mind. If they're into terrible music like Foo Fighters, then they're probably into other stupid things like fake oceans. I continued my stroll and started noticing things flying through the air. A sign read, "Welcome to Foo Fighters food fight." Thousands of people were throwing food at one another while Van Vanilla ran around singing his awful generic lyrics. I couldn't imagine anything worse, so I sprinted to get away from the lame scene. I stopped running when I spotted a different colored bumps on the road. What now, I thought, feeling annoyed again at my new home. They were beach balls placed over the potholes and sinkholes in the road. Instead of fixing these issues, they just cover them up with beach balls. What is this?
He's tripping, dude. He's on something.
Instead of learning how to fix roads here, they just listened to bad music and did their orgy stuff. Pathetic. It's very judgmental. I couldn't handle the beach ball pothole road crap, so I randomly walked into a meadow. The grass was about 3 feet high, and after walking for 10 minutes, I heard chirping sounds. I was suddenly surrounded by thousands of crickets, all staring at me while producing their symphony of sounds. One of them spoke to me with an Australian accent. This is like a fever dream.
That's what I'm saying. He's tripping, dude.
Hey, I'm not doing an Australian accent, Dave. Hey, mate, can you tattoo a tribal armband on me? I replied, I am not a tattoo artist, and tribal tattoos are the worst. So you don't want one of those. Only meathead sheep get them. Okay. The cricket told me Van Vanilla said they were cool. That figures. Van Vanilla is probably the architect of this entire place. I decided to keep walking through the meadow. I despised my new home in the afterlife. I should just go find that 1,000,000-person orgy. I find it and take off my clothes and prepared to join in when a girl asked me what my favorite Foo Fighters song was. I replied with, I hate that band, and because of that, I hate this place. I listen to real music called skate punk. If you played Pennywise or Wilhelm Scream, you'd enjoy it a lot more than this radio garbage. Sorry, but we only listen to the Foo Fighters here. No endless ass for you unless you say you love them. All right. Then you can join our orgy. It's easy. Here we go. This is Dave's reply to this person. I am a true believer in skate punk. You all are so lame. I might just start a band here to show you posers what awesome music sounds like. So you're really going to deny yourself entrance to an orgy because you won't say you love the Foo Fighters? Correct. I hate them. And when I was alive, I hated them even more. Now that I hate them. I hate them when I was alive, and I hate them even more now that I'm dead. Thank you. I'm having a hard time reading. She ignored me and went back to the orgy, singing lame, boring Foo Fighters songs. I was beyond furious at this place. I returned. Hold on. Did you put your clothes back on? He told us the last time he did it. He didn't do it this time. So he returned to the ocean of cell phones and started smashing them. Well, he must have been naked. People screamed at me if I was killing a living thing. I didn't care. I kept breaking them until I was exhausted and sore. I looked at the destruction around me and thought it was a beautiful mess. This continued for a full year until I spotted an old building with some activity inside. I planned to go in and burn it down since I had developed a taste for arson lately. This isn't the first fire story, right? Arson showed up in a few of these, correct? Drugs always show up. Drugs always show up. Arson sometimes. Dave, we got to talk. We're going to have to talk. Let's see. Since I developed a taste for arson lately, I loved watching flames and knew I was doing the correct thing. But then someone stopped me and asked, what's your favorite Foo Fighters song? I was tired, exhausted, and depressed. I wanted to say every song and blend in with my new home. I couldn't live like this anymore. But being a true believer in skate punk, I responded with, I hate the band, and I walked away feeling depressed as always. His response forever changed my life. Wait, don't leave. We hate the Foo Fighters as well. Come inside. Inside was a group of people who also hated that band. I finally found a new home, all because I refused to conform. First off, I feel like Dave didn't make it to heaven. I don't think there's this much depression and anger and hatred in. Well,
was it limbo? Was that like
purgatory?
Purgatory, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
While in this place, I ended up meeting my wife there, and we started a new band called Scotty and the True Believers. Even God ended up liking skate punk more than that radio crap, and ultimately he banned the Foo Fighters from ever playing again. Van Vanilla, his son, was fired as the head of heaven and became our roadie instead. Scotty and the True Believers played all over heaven. Orgies became a thing of the past, and people began forming real relationships. We played at weddings, sports and bars, and skate punk became the sound of heaven. and we were God's favorite band. A few years later, God invited me and my wife to his house for dinner, and he said, Scotty, you really fixed the mess Van Vanilla created here. I mean, beach balls for potholes and cell phones instead of actual waves. That terrible music of the Foo Fighters. To show my gratitude towards you, I want to make you a saint. I accepted, and we changed the band's name to Scotty Saints and the True Believers. End that fictional short story by Dave. Now for the real review. This is the second skate punk release for the Struggling Artists Record Club, the first being taken by Vultures. Well, wait a minute. All right. I remember this because skate punk has always been my favorite genre since 1994. As I excitedly tore apart that brown cardboard box, my heart raced like a caffeinated squirrel when I discovered it was the second skate punk release. I couldn't help but feel like the schoolgirl who just got asked to the prom by the cutest boy in class, giddy, squealing, and probably a little too dramatic. A day later, I emailed Trev to double check that it's really not on Spotify or Bandcamp. I thought maybe I was missing something, but he confirmed it. To clarify, it is on Spotify, but only individual songs. This is also the third record in a row with no lyric sheets. All right, dude. I can't. What am I supposed to be like? Hey, do you have lyric sheets? You know, I can't. I can't help you, Dave. I'm sorry. Again, for the millionth time, bands, please include lyrics or add them to your Bandcamp. With aggressive music, lyrics are essential. The next thing I noticed was how raw the album sounded. The genre of skate punk is heavy on production. These songs have more raw vibe, which is great because when I blast this on my record player, I pretend the band is playing live in front of me. Now for the songs. The album opens with a classic skate punk song, fast and melodic, which is why I fell in love with the genre. This style always gets me amped up. The next track slows down a little bit, but since it's skate punk, it remains melodic and pleasure for the ears. The third song blends elements of the first two. It's not too fast, not too slow, with a catchy chorus. Feel it go away and it won't last another day. Side B opens up with my favorite song, Won't Believe It. I think Scotty and the band sound best when he sings like this versus other songs where he sounds like he is yelling more. Okay, so Scotty does have a voice. He is a very good singer. I like his personally, I like his more yelling stuff because it's something we haven't heard from him before, you know?
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a minute, though. Let's see. The artwork and vinyl color are fantastic. Not sure I own any records of that color variant. In the end, I am proud to put this album on my shelf alongside the other great skate punk albums. Also, if you're interested in listening to the genre more, here are top four skate punk albums so far of 2025. The Implants, Bridge the Gap, Oh the Humanity, and Heathcliff. All right, Dave, thank you. I don't know what to tell you about the lyrics. If bands don't send lyric sheets, I can't help that. I can't, you have to figure it out. Hit up Scotty. He'll send you some, I'm sure.
I mean, is it too much to ask for you to take the time to actually handwrite them out for everyone?
Me? You don't want me to handwrite anything.
Like, here's your lyrics, deal with it.
Yeah, my penmanship is like a dead language. Like, you don't know what it is. Like, it's just terrible. All right, so
I feel like that's something that we really could use AI for usefully, is to feed it the audio and let it just put out the lyrics for you. You know, here they are, cool, ready to go.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I feel like
as long as it's accurate, right? You want it to be accurate.
Yeah.
So it's just like a transcription software or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I will say this. Like I said, I've been following Scotty Saints and the True Believers for a while now. I've seen them a handful of times. Always put on a great show. I remember the first time I see them perform live, it like blew my mind. Like, I think like it was right before their last album release, and it was for the record release show, and it was the first night. Was that the first time I saw them? No, that wasn't the first. I don't know. No, it was the second time. I saw him the night before too. Yeah. Scotty blew his voice out like the first night and but kept
I remember.
Going. He just kept going and and he still sounded great.
I remember you telling me about that.
Scotty Saints has been in the punk rock thing. He's been doing the punk rock thing for a long time, and I am really excited that he finally got something on vinyl because it's definitely one I enjoy for the collection. I have to. Luckily, I miscounted and I ordered an extra one because I have to give it to Chris because his mail carrier hates him. And
It's the second time now, dude.
And like tied it to the top of the truck on a hot day while he was trying to deliver it and warp. You're the only person that's ever sent me like, hey, look what happened.
Look at this.
Yeah.
And that shit's all wobbly and shit.
I know,
Looks like
it was crazy.
It's ready to be made into a clock.
Yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, anyway, back to Scotty. This album is definitely a little more aggressive than his other stuff. I would say this is like borderline like melodic hardcore in some points. You know, I love it.
For me, I am leaning more towards like that late 80s thrash metal. Like if you listen to the first song, right? Listen to that first song.
Zeros and ones.
Yes, and when his vocals come in, just the riff of the guitar, the chugging of the guitar, the way his vocals come in, and then just the way that music is playing. You could have easily put that in right between like Iron Maiden, Scotty Saints, that song will play, and then, you know, Judas Priest. Like it literally sounds like it fits perfect in that bookended like genre of music. And it, for me, a lot of this album has a lot, like you said, there's more aggression in it. It for me harkens back to thrash. It feels like Scotty's going skate thrash.
Yeah, I can hear that. I can hear that for sure. Also, I want to let Dave know that the album is up on Bandcamp now. It might be everywhere, but I know it's definitely on Bandcamp now. Yep. So there's no lyrics to it, Dave. You're gonna have to reach out to Scotty. Reach out. Quit making me say things like breasts and orgy and get all weird on my podcast because I didn't make sure there was lyrics for you. You know, like I said, he did release all these tracks as singles throughout last year, and they if you know me, you know like. Sometimes I'll hear a single and it just doesn't land because I need the whole finished project.
Yeah.
These singles are really good at standing alone and being part of this album.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
I definitely, and again, like I said, I like when a band does something a little different from, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. For me, this is like almost like an evolution in their sound. A little bit more, you know, it's a little heavier, a little bit more swagger coming to it. You know, it's not just straightforward skate punk. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Now, I don't know what the future holds for their next album. It might be more aggression. Might be
new metal.
Might pull it back, huh?
New metal,
Scotty Saints,
and the new metal believers,
new Scotty Saints,
and you.
Yeah, that would be awesome. No,
that's awesome.
Like if you go on their Bandcamp, I mean, there's like an acoustic album on there.
Yeah,
it's really good. So you know,
it's killer. At the end of the day, it's killer, dude.
And I knew this was like. I know I kind of got like I did the adjacent thing for a couple months, but like this was like I'm like we're bringing it back to the roots with this one. You know what I mean? So I'm happy. This was a good one, man. I'm happy. Like, and again, like it was really cool to be able to do this with Scotty.
Yeah,
we've been friends for a while now, so to be able to, you know, I was just so happy that he had something on vinyl.
Yeah, heck yeah, dude. It's gonna be. I'm stoked that I'm gonna have that in my collection as well, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah. So all right, well,
yeah. I guess bring me more thrash though. That's what I'll say, Scotty. Keep going with that thrash sound. It sounds so awesome, and he's got the voice for it, bro. Like I said, I mean, I'm not gonna say he's Bruce Dickinson, but he's got the voice for it. He can get in there.
His voice can range pretty well.
Yes, he can get in there, dude. He really can. Yeah. I'm digging it. I'm here for it.
I'm excited to see these songs live. I feel like it's gonna be like you're gonna have to catch your breath from watching it. You know what I mean?
Are they touring in support right now? Are they doing anything with the? Know?
They're doing things. I think they're doing like weekenders and stuff.
Are
like
you trying
that.
to hit any of them yet?
So I got to take a look what's coming up next. But
Sweet.
It just didn't line up from the record release on between work and going to Montreal and everything.
It's funny, dude. I'm such a fan of so many New England bands that I'm always just waiting for them to head out this way. You know what I mean? I'm always like, you guys coming to Buffalo? Come to Buffalo, man. There's a lot of places we could get you playing out here. Hell
yeah. The other thing too, I think that there was one show. Actually, there was one show that we got snow down here and he couldn't make it to that I was at that he was supposed to play. So I mean, it was just it's been a series of things. But we'll link up soon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We love Scotty Saints around here.
Hell yeah.
You know, and I guess we're good.
Yeah, buddy. What a good time.
Yeah, join the record club, strugglingartistrecordclub.com. We've got some good stuff in the works. Some new albums.
That's it. That's your new logo. Join the record club. We've got some good stuff.
Sure.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's it for the the Record Club recap for April of 2025. Thank you, Dave, for your email as always. Chris, thanks for joining me and talking about the album yourself. And thank you to Scotty Saints and the True Believers for being April selection. We'll talk to you guys next month.